What's up, homies? This is ya boy, Eric, coming at you with another casual review. I'm gonna stop right there. So this is a casual review about Donkey Kong, but not just any version of Donkey Kong. This is the far superior Donkey Kong version on the original Game Boy, the OG. And initially, my experience with this game is the arcade version, like the famous Donkey Kong arcade version. And then I also had Mario vs. Donkey Kong Mini Land Mayhem on the DS. And I think that's part of this series, right? It's like Mario trying to rescue Pauline from Donkey Kong. And so I kind of knew what I was getting into at the time, or at least I thought I did. So here's the story. Last week, Autumn was asking if I had taken the Switch with me that day, and so I felt kind of bad. I felt like, I'll leave the Switch for Autumn today. And then I was like, well, what am I gonna play for like a day today? And this game's been sitting on my shelf for a while now. I haven't even touched it. Donkey Kong for the original Game Boy. And I was like, I've accrued some Game Boy colors as of late, and I know this can run on the original Game Boy, but I don't have an original Game Boy or a Game Boy Pocket. So I popped this bad boy in the Game Boy Color, and oh, did it feel right? Like, right when you turn on that switch and it goes ding, and it's just, the nostalgia and the buttons and the screen, and it was all just nostalgia. Those were the good old days. Anyway, so I popped this guy in, and I expect it to be like the regular Donkey Kong arcade, where it's like those 3 or 4 levels, and then it just repeats over and over again, and like you try to build up a score. I thought it'd be a good old time. Little did I know, though, at the supposed last level, Donkey Kong wakes up and he grabs Pauline, and then it's just like, oh wait, there's a whole game behind this. And I was like, are you telling me there's more? And there's a lot more. I want to say there's like 90 other levels after the original arcade levels. And this is like, Mario's got all these new moves and new mechanics, so I was genuinely surprised. I'm not sure who they fooled back in the day, but it is a very pleasant surprise. Like, you only play through maybe like 10% of the game at the time. Like, there's a whole another 90%. It's crazy. It's very different from Mario Land. Now, these are both Game Boy games, and I'm sure that Donkey Kong came out way after Mario Land. I recently did a casual review about that. And if you told me that these two games came out on the same system, I would have thought you were crazy. Now, granted, I was playing this on the Game Boy Color, and this actually had a couple unique features that weren't featured if I would be playing on the original Game Boy. That's what I understand anyway. I know that it had some additional features for the Super Boy. That's where you plug in your Game Boy into like a Super Nintendo cartridge, and then you can play on the TV. And this had special features, like you could be playing on like this virtual arcade cabinet. It looks really cool. I wish I had a Super Game Boy to play it on. I think that's the name, Super Game Boy. I really wish I had one. I might look into getting one after this, just to like see all the fun new features. That sounds pretty cool. And there was color, so I was looking up online pictures of it playing on the original Game Boy, and it looks not as great as when you played on the Color. So I'm glad it was just happenstance I played on that. The levels themselves play a little differently than the original arcade game, like the original arcade levels. So in the original ones, what can Mario, or at the time he was known as Jumpman, what can he do? He can jump over stuff, he can pick up a hammer, and that's about it. He can climb up ladders. In this one, it's like they thought, okay, what are all the Mario games that came out before this? What mechanics do we want to keep? Let's just give them all to Mario. And I'm actually surprised, like, there's so many different things Mario can do in this game that I wish current modern day 2D Mario could do. So he can, let's see, I'll just go over his whole move list. So he can do an aerial, like think of how you're playing like a 3D Mario and you're moving in one direction and then you hurry and like put the control stick in the opposite direction and then jump, and he'll go like wahoo and do like this aerial, like a higher jump than a normal jump. He can do that in a 2D game, and why can't current 2D Mario do that? I don't know. Another jump he can do is, instead of the triple jump, first he can get on his hands, like this. What's crazy is this is all on an original Game Boy game. So he does like a handstand, and he can shuffle back and forth, and any objects that come from above, he like reflects off of him. Like, it's so cool. Why can't current Mario do handstands to block up like oncoming damage from above? Such a cool mechanic. And then after that, he does like a front flip back onto his feet, and it's like a super high jump. He like launches himself off his hands. And then after that, he can do another super high jump. So it's kind of like a triple jump, but like more complex than even a triple jump. It's awesome. Let's see what else. Oh, for certain enemies, like not spiky enemies, he can just hop on them like Super Mario 2 style, and he can pick them up and throw them. And you also use this on like Donkey Kong's barrels to like throw the barrels back at Donkey Kong during boss levels. That's awesome. And well, I'm kind of conflicted about this. I like the pick up and throw style of Mario, but I also like just the jump on the Goomba to kill them or flatten them. Mario doesn't kill, to flatten them. And so it's fun. It's like it adds so much more mechanics. Let's see, what else can he do? Oh, he can grab onto these clotheslines, and then he does like this little... He like flips around him and it gets faster and faster, and then he can like launch himself up in the air to grab like additional wires or like at a platform up above. And he can do this at an angle to like launch himself across the stage. It's awesome. His hammers, I remember this feature being in the DS version with you're controlling like the little mini Mario robot toy Marios. But in this one, he has his hammer, and then he can like throw it up in the air, and then he can catch it on a different level. So there's like levels where you specifically need to like throw the hammers up additional levels to get up higher to destroy the blocks. So you like throw it up in the air, then you hurry and climb up the ladder and catch the hammer again, and then throw it up in the air. And I guess that's just a really awesome thing about this game is all these levels, you're like... it's not like a side scroller. You're more in like this contained level. Think more like the original Donkey Kong arcade, where it's just this map and you can see the whole thing. But like the puzzles and the mechanics, they just make such great use of Mario, and you really have to master these mechanics that are at your disposal to really get across the level. And it's cool because like if you have a certain level of mastery of Mario and like how he moves in this game, you can bypass certain things, and it almost like you get that like sneaky feeling like you kind of got away with something. They had this a lot in the newest Mario Odyssey, where like if you know your jumps well enough, you can bypass like the whole areas and you feel like you got away with it, even though like Nintendo designed the levels or something like so you would be able to do that. But it gives me such glee to be able to like know that I could do certain jumps to get to higher places. Another mechanic in this game that I thought was pretty unique is you can touch these blocks, and then you can place items anywhere in the map for a temporary amount of time, right? So there'll be like a springboard block, and when you hit it, you can place a springboard anywhere to jump on it to get to higher locations. And then it's just systems upon systems because the timer's going, but if you get on another block that places another item, the whole timer resets, so the springboard stays there even longer. So you kind of have to like plan your course, and there's just tons of stuff like that. The creators of this game really knew what they were doing. They really mastered these mechanics and built like these whole complex puzzles and levels all around it. And I'm just baffled this came out for the Game Boy. It's awesome. Donkey Kong Jr. is in this game. You guys remember him? I believe he made an appearance in the Mario Kart Wii, and that was the last one. But Donkey Kong Jr., he's kind of like Donkey Kong's little sidekick, and he'll like throw mini mushrooms at you, or like he'll switch switches. It's just fun having an appearance of him, and it's kind of like Mario's chasing down Donkey Kong, but Donkey Kong Jr. is right there behind you. And I love this this dynamic because in Donkey Kong Jr., it's Mario who captured Donkey Kong, and I love this like battle between the two. Now it's like Donkey Kong's just like a friendly monkey over in like Mario Party's like, oh, you landed on Donkey Kong's face, have some stars. But dude, like back then, Donkey Kong was ruthless. Like he is scary. Like he's I guess he's how you would see like King Kong back in the day. I know Donkey Kong's not King Kong according to the lawyer Kirby, but watch the Netflix documentary called High Score to understand what I was referencing. And no, he's scary. You don't want to mess with Donkey Kong. I'm not gonna swear, so he's BA. The music, the like little chip tunes, they're pretty catchy. I actually not bad music. During like the last couple levels, they actually play like this like epic song, and it really gets you pumped up. Like, oh, this is it. We're climbing the tower. We're gonna save you, Pauline. Don't worry. And it's like this epic do 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 do. I'm not gonna try and do it. So just like the original arcade game, this, in each map, there's like the 3 Pauline items, like the purse and the umbrella and, oh shoot, I forget the last thing, but don't worry about it. Anyway, what I was kind of thinking is, man, I know this is kind of a feature that came in later games, but wouldn't it be cool to reward you for collecting those 3 items? Now, granted, if you do collect all 3 during a level, they let you play this little mini game to get more lives. And they're already pretty generous with lives. Like every time you encounter Donkey Kong, you encounter him like every 3 levels you face off with him. And then any time left that you accrue of those 3 levels, they'll give you like a ton of lives for them. Like every 100 seconds you have extra, they will give you a life for. So by the end, I had accrued a ton of lives. So I didn't find much incentive to get those 3 items in every level. But like, man, you don't even have to reward me with anything, but maybe just like make the stage marker like a different color or something to indicate that, yeah, I did get all 3 items. Like you don't need to give me a different, I know I always suggest like give me a different skin, but you don't even have to give me a different skin. Like just a little marker, maybe like a little percentage or like a little star next to my file if I collected all the items. Just give me a little more incentive to keep hunting them down, making the levels maybe a little bit more challenging. That's the thing, is this game is already pretty challenging. Like the last couple of worlds gave me actually a lot of grief, and like I would just be burning through levels because this isn't a stroll in the park or anything like that. Like Donkey Kong, he really wants to hold on to Pauline, and so he's gonna throw everything he's got at you, and it definitely shows. I guess that brings me to one of my complaints, is whenever you die, and like I mentioned, you're gonna die quite a lot, you have to go through this whole like sequence to get back in the action. I kind of wish it was more like Celeste, where whenever you die, it just teleports you back to like the beginning of that room. But instead, it's like you die and it's like do 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 do, like the regular Donkey Kong arcade. And then you have to go back to the level select, and then you select the level, and then it's like do 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 do, and then you hop back in, and I know it's like only a couple seconds, but it really adds up over time. I wish it was just like dead, and then you teleport back to the beginning of the room. And we don't need that filler, especially if you're going to be throwing all these difficult obstacles at us. Like, let us just teleport back at the beginning. And Mario's always been guilty of that. Like, it makes a big deal that you die. It's like it's not even the fear of losing lives that has me worried about dying. It's that fear of spending all that extra time of having to go back into the level. Another complaint that I have is that the hitboxes, like a lot of old games suffer from this, but the hitboxes are maybe a little wonky. Like, I feel like Mario covers up, like, he fills up this bigger square than what Mario would actually fill up. And so sometimes I'll collide with something, but I was close to it, but it should have passed Mario instead of colliding with him. But I guess that's just like a sign of its time, That's just how games were. The hitboxes were like a box around the character, not the actual character itself. So that's a little easier to ignore. That's a little easier to write off. Overall, it's a great game, and I was so surprised with it. Just so much content to be had here. And I'm so surprised that this has flown under my radar for so long. Now, granted, this came out when I was 2 years old, 94. So I of course it would pass under my radar, but I'm just so happy that there are still games out there that have been out forever that I have yet to discover that still have that Nintendo level of polish. And I know I sound like some Nintendo fanboy right now, which, you know, to be fair, I am, but there's those Nintendo games that just have that charm and that level of polish, and the creators just have that mastery over their product that I just love, and I'm so excited to come across more games like this. It truly was a really good surprise, and it totally sidetracked me from the Switch game that I'm playing at the moment. Overall, I think I gotta give this a 5 out of 5. It's probably at least one of my top 3 favorite Game Boy games. It's that good, and if you haven't played it yet, I definitely recommend giving it a try. Please let me know if you guys have any questions about it. It's still pretty fresh in my mind, and I'm happy to answer anything that you have. Also, let me know your experience playing this game. Were you surprised when Donkey Kong woke back up and picked up Pauline for like another 90 levels? Please let me know in the comments down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye!